Welcome back. This is The Angel and the Vengeful Sea. My name is Mikey, I am the DM, and this is my first time as a DM. I have 3 players that have all also not played Dungeons & Dragons before. I have, just never been on this side of the map, never been on this side of the encounters. So join me, my wife, my best friend, and his wife. And we will all try to make it through this together as pleasant as possible and without having to reroll characters. Jump in.
But anyway, I'm dodging this bitch like this.
Okay, so you see the Mephit in front of you, and you decide to dodge it. You're not going to take a...
I'm rapiering it.
A rapier, okay. 1d20 plus your rapier. What you got?
Oh god.
What does it say? 11 plus anything?
Sleight of hand, because I'm
Yeah, you passed. You
Wait,
passed
is that
the.
mine? I never picked up my
I
die.
couldn't get it.
I
I'm
never
passing
got it back.
I'm passing dags. I'm
Coming up on
raping
it.
some pures.
Okay, it's a
Plus 6.
so total.
17.
You hit.
Yeah, that's good.
You hit.
Does it roll a D8?
A 7. Oh. Okay. Shit.
I'll take that, dude.
What, did you do an attack roll?
What was
You
it?
hit it. 17. You hit it.
It was it 7 plus 2? I rolled a 7, didn't I? I know I rolled my D8. It was a 7.
But you have to roll damage.
Yeah.
It was 7 plus 2.
7 plus 2.
Okay, so
It did 9 damage.
it did 9 damage.
This
And-
dude just like
Gone.
he just falls in the fire and dies.
He doesn't. Okay, sure. This Mephit over here behind the pillar. Drathnor runs up and pushes it all the way to the fire,
What?
Yeah, it fucking
and
did.
it starts burning. And it's screaming, just been like, "There's so many things I meant to do in this life." So you only have Jalyn. You went and you killed that.
Fucking killed him, yeah.
So
I
now it
fucking
is
killed
down
him.
to the last Mephit. It's getting cornered. And it's starting to freak the fuck
He's
out.
just kind of getting ganged up on and shit.
Yeah.
And it's going to use its claw
We're just
attack.
riffing on him right now.
It's like way underneath the table, Mikey.
Yeah. It's going to use its claw attack.
What does a
and-
Mephit look like?
Oh
Kinda
yeah.
like a,
I know I've
Kind of
killed
like a Zubat.
I've killed like
explained
8,
it.
like a Zubat.
Kinda. It's kind of like a Zubat
a
with,
people Zubat.
with a long nose, like a gnome nose from like Harry Potter.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's
And
like Dobby and a mix of a Zubat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it has wings, but it's also like. The
The
last.
picture I have is insane right now.
Can I just figure this like blue, like gray color? Like,
Yes.
Like
It's a dust method. They come in different types. Like methods come in like fire, dust, ice, storm, shit like that.
I know we're dealing with the dust kind, but anyway.
Yeah.
let's
So
let's
it
kill it. I
it
don't
comes
care.
out, and the closest one to it is Utopho. Easy target. And it is going to lunge at you and try to use its claws attack. Okay. Okay, well I rolled it off the side. 9. What's your AC?
What's your armor class?
Who's
13.
13.
Oh, you didn't hit, bitch. Fuck off.
So this Mephit lunges at you, and you just kind of throw it off to the side. Now it's your turn.
What's the melee weapon attack?
Melee.
Melee,
Melee plus 4 to hit.
1d20 plus 4 to hit versus my AC. So whatever this Mephit's AC is, if you can do over it, you will attack. And then you get to roll your hit damage.
Okay, I'll do that. So what do I pick up?
1d20 plus 4.
Okay. 15.
Oh, nice.
19. You definitely hit. So, roll me, what was it, your rapier or crossbow?
Sure, rapier.
It's 5.
Oh, it's 5. That's mine.
Okay.
I don't
So what do you roll
know
for
where
it?
my phone is.
What's your rapier say? 1d8 something?
Plus what?
It doesn't. Oh, it doesn't say anything.
Hold on,
It says
babe.
rapier.
Then what's
It's
the
right there.
attack dice?
Rapier is 1d8 plus 2.
Okay. Cool.
When you're attacking, look there. It'll
Oh,
tell you
okay.
what's gonna happen. 7 plus
It almost
2.
went off the board.
Fuck yes.
9. Nicely done. Now it's Edda's turn. Edda sees you just attacked this Mephit, and it's like dying and shit.
Doing 9 damage. And
Doing 9
shiz-
damage and shit.
And shiznit.
So he's gonna move right up next to it, and he's gonna throw at Javelin, but it's not gonna be so much of a throw as it is like
A short
a short poke,
short range.
a short poke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yee.
Okay. And he tries to stab this Mephit, and it's like flying around and shit, and it's like, hit me if you can, bitch!
It's hobbling.
Yeah, it's moving around. You're so close to getting out of this battle, and I'm gonna have to give you the experience points for 5 fucking Mephits.
I
Like,
know.
you're gonna hit level 4. Oh my god. Like, this is good, guys.
I
Like,
know.
burn in hell!
Your
like-
mom sucks cocks in hell.
Your mother
again.
sucks cocks in hell!
That's all they say.
Kill me! Like, it's trying. Like, it's really fucked. Finish it.
Please
finish
please
it.
kill it.
I want to use inflict wounds.
Make it die.
You want to use inflict wounds. What does it say?
Oh fuck! Hold on. On hit, the target takes 3d10 of necrotic damage.
Oh! It's not necrotic. So, on a hit, it will do 3d10 necrotic damage.
Okay.
So, roll the hit 1d20.
Hey, Claire, you want some more shots?
6.
Take a drink. Muscle up.
Does it have a DC?
Put some
saving
hustle
throw?
behind that muscle.
No, it just says on hit, the target takes 3d10 of necrotic
Okay.
damage.
So, I will try to roll over 6.
Okay.
You have a good chance, and then you will get to do 3d10.
Okay.
Holy shit.
Yes.
What do you roll?
He rolled a 1.
What do you roll?
I rolled a 1.
Get him! Get him!
Okay,
Go suck cocks in hell, bitch.
3d10.
Suck your mom's cock
Go
in
ahead.
hell.
Go ahead.
Okay, sorry, but like I can't see any of these dice.
Your
You
D10.
can't-
I know.
What?
Your
I couldn't
D10
read
is
my
this.
Paper. I could not.
5.
5.
5.
Okay, keep
Fiver.
going. Keep going.
3d10? So I rolled
3. You roll
3d10.
3 of them.
6.
Fuck yeah. Kill it.
8.
Make it die.
Okay.
You want some more?
Yeah.
This Mephit is negative
All
11 hit points. It bursts into flames.
It fucking...
It just like...
It dies and then it dies again.
It dies and it dies again. Exactly. So...
It's the only way to explain. Drink that glass I had earlier.
I did. I already drank it, Jalyn.
Did you really?
Get the dice out, yeah.
Holy shit, I was really drunk then.
I shoved it. Your wife is so much
Okay. You kill this Mephit so bad that it's like bleeding out, spazzing, and it's just trying.
It's coming blood.
It's coming blood. Like, yes. And it is dead. And combat is over. You managed to kill 5 Mephits down this hallway.
This is a lot better than last time. Like,
Fucking
we were getting
right.
massacred last time.
Okay,
Anyway.
so
Wait, who was white?
Me.
Nevaeh.
Say, goddamn.
All the Mephits are dead.
Sorry.
You see all these dead bodies around you, and still the stone pillars moving around a little bit.
I'm stacking up the bodies.
Are you gonna burn them?
Might as well. There's fire.
I threw them on the fire.
Smells real bad.
Yeah, I bet it does.
Yeah, burning Mephits.
But I'm doing it because I'm conscious and like about the environment and stuff.
You're like biodegradable, yeah.
Right.
And you toss it on the fire.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you toss all of the Mephits on the fire, and all their bones boil down, and you see 15 pieces of gold.
And okay, so like I put them all in this pile, right?
Okay, so I'm gonna imagine that all of the characters move over to that fire.
They're just watching. They're just like, dude, what the fuck are you
This
doing?
smells really bad, but like, I'm gonna watch.
Like, I'm curious what this motherfucker's doing.
Yeah. Okay, so
So like, I pick up the fire pit. Like, I grab it by the
You're gonna
bases.
pick up
the
fire
rocks.
pit?
No, how do you pick up a fire pit?
How do you
Please
do that?
explain to me
So
how
like,
you pick up a fire pit.
in my mind, a fire pit is like 4 posts and then like a metal bowl
No.
See, in my mind,
it's wood.
in the ground.
No.
In the ground.
No, it's the stone circle.
Okay,
Yeah, that's
I see what
what
you.
I'm
Okay,
thinking.
no. Okay.
It's stone circle
Yeah.
fire pits, where you create the ember in the middle of it. Okay. So you burn all of
Dude,
this.
so I've got sleight of hand as fuck, right? So I can just boom, boom, like grab that
What's your sleight of hand
plus
plus?
6.
Roll it.
Roll a d20.
16 or over.
Nope.
14 plus 6, 20.
Okay.
I rolled an unnatural 20 to get the fucking gold out of
unnat
it.
20. You reach in and you manage to grab 2/3 of the coins.
That's fair.
So you get 6 gold pieces.
Mm-hmm.
And you're gonna stuff these away in your pockets? Yeah? You gonna tell anyone?
Because I'm a thief, like I have to take it.
Yeah. Are you gonna tell anyone? Because they
Fuck
saw you
no.
burning them. They saw you burning the bodies.
Well, it decompose and like they're just kind of like oh, like rolling their eyes like oh fucking
Drathnor, burning
Yeah.
bodies again.
And then I'm just kind of like walking through like boom, and then I grab it.
Okay.
I'm not telling anybody.
Cool. So you have managed to defeat 5 Mephits. You bust one of those skulls. You're gonna get some experience for this later.
That's a golem right there.
Do you want to pause now?
Yeah, we can take a break.
As the players take a much needed break, we recollect all the Mephits they killed. I want to point out that I can do math, that 2/3 of 15 is not 6, but I was not thinking clearly at the time. When you're behind, when you're the DM, it seriously feels like the table moves 1,000 miles a minute. Everything is just so on go. But we're gonna join back in. The Mephits are done. The party has collected them all and put them all onto this fire, and they're watching them burn. Let's see what happens next.
You dig.
Hello,
Anyways.
everyone.
Anyways, let's
Okay.
do the game.
Let's get back to it. You guys have defeated 5 Mephits.
Look what Brian sent me. Kimberly's husband. I don't care.
It's okay.
All right. So you all gather around this last dead Mephit, and
I got the gold in my pocket, Joe.
you have the gold in your pocket.
6 gold.
Sure.
What are our health bars? Are we all like full health?
They never touched us.
Yeah.
entire
You guys
fucking fight.
never took a hit.
That's like awesome though.
You never
Last
took
time
a
you
hit.
were about dead last time.
All right. So
We
what
got
do
dice
you
on the floor.
what do you want to do now?
I want to inspect the pillars.
We should probably like kill this
No, they're dead.
They're dead.
Are you talking about
We
this?
might not need to kill him. He might give us wisdom.
Yeah, can you take that one last clear one out? Or did I already?
This one? No,
No,
they're all
that's-
gone. They're all
Okay,
gone.
cool. Yeah, so all the Mephits are dead, and it's just a ray of bodies down this hallway.
I burned them.
And Jalyn gathered them all up and burned them. Cool. Now
It
what?
stinks.
It
It's
smells
smoky.
I
real
got
bad.
gold from it, so
It
fuck
smells
off.
like burning flesh.
I like that smell, so...
Okay, well, Drathnor apparently likes that smell.
I want to look at the pillars moving and shit.
Okay, move your character.
Puff, puff, pass.
So Drathnor moves further down the hallway and sees these 10-foot, 15-foot tall pillars moving around, and you hear this voice say, "Welcome to Skul's Bar and Grill. Sit wherever you want." He's your host.
Are there chairs?
Yeah. All the black spaces are chairs.
So I just fucking... These are NPCs, right?
Yep.
I'm still about half lit. I walk up and... Hey, what are you blokes doing?
The two methods at the table that you walk up to into Skul's Bar and Grill, because it's a sports bar. Skulls.
Bears.
S-K-U-L.
Bears.
S-K-U-L. And this method says to you, "Can I help you?"
Yeah, I'm hungry.
Well, pay for your own food.
He doesn't realize I've got fucking pockets full of gold.
He doesn't realize that you have pockets full.
I'm gonna pull out one gold piece and put it on the table.
Okay, cool. So you pull out one gold piece and put it on the table. A floating flame skull. It's like a little skull just bobbing through the air. Walks over and is like, "What can I get you?"
I want a whiskey sour,
A whiskey sour.
some
Good choice.
some onion straws, and a number 20 cheesy bacon ranch.
Okay. The floating skull takes that order down and bobs away. So, are you sitting down at the chair?
Yeah, I'm in that chair right
I
there.
really don't have
Well,
a good
there's another undead skeleton just sitting there like, hello?
That's fine, I'll fuck with it.
I'm just trying to have a drink. Can I help you?
I say, yeah, I'll buy y'all around. Like, so I
The
pull out.
skeleton is enthused, and he says, "Deal, partner."
Yeah.
And says, "Another round of PBR."
I want Mr. Pibb and some Fireball.
Okay. Well, the waitress isn't there anymore, so...
Fuck.
She already went back to the kitchen.
Oh yeah, oh, that's right.
What do Utopho, Nevaeh, and Etta do?
I'll buy y'all a drink if you want to come in.
Will you get me a margarita?
No.
Utopho says, "I like margaritas."
That's like
Oh
my
jeez.
outfit.
And then fucking dude, he comes in like, I don't know if we should be doing this, guy.
I'm not old enough to drink. I'll just have a Sprite.
He's just kind of like fucking over here. Just
He's
all by
really
himself.
uncomfortable. Etta is really
He's
uncomfortable
not.
by this because, like, he's not old enough to drink, and he's just like, "Oh, geez, that impairs your vision and cognitive emotions. I don't want any. Can I have a Shirley Temple?" And the Mephit sees everybody crowding around the table and is like, "Excuse me, I was trying to have a drink."
I just bought him one though.
He did. You did. But he's still upset by all the other people.
Oh,
coming
okay.
in.
Diffuse the situation.
Well, I'm gonna give him a virgin. I'm gonna go behind here. I'm gonna give him a virgin strawberry daiquiri There we go. Now we gotta go.
What?
Okay, so you're gonna have to explain to me because I personally, as the game master, don't know what a virgin daiquiri is. Does that mean no alcohol?
It means no alcohol. It's a virgin.
Fuck, you're fucked.
You slide a virgin margarita daiquiri, whatever it is, across the table to this Mephit. He looks just like the 5 that you killed, and he says, "You take a sip of it." What is this horse manure?
And then I look at him. I look at him and I say, "If it makes that drink taste any better, I killed 5 of your friends outside this hall."
The Mephit gulps loudly and says, "Excuse me? You did what?"
I said, "I killed 5 of your friends just like you outside this hall."
He pulls his dagger out and slams it blade down into the table and says, "Say it again."
And I'm laughing the whole time. I say, "I killed 5 of your Mephit friends outside of this hallway."
Roll initiative. I tried to give you every opportunity to not fight this guy.
To be nice. Okay, can I say, like, I was just joking?
If you're trying to get yourself out of it, you have to say it now.
Too late.
Okay, well, I do have 16 charisma, so...
Okay, so roll your... If you're trying to get out of it, roll your d20 plus your charisma modifier to see if you get out of it.
16.
16.
Plus 16, 32.
It's not 16 plus 16.
I have a charisma of 16.
What's the modifier?
Charisma?
Yeah.
2.
Okay.
So 18.
So this Mephit on the other side of the table sees you pull this dagger out and stab the table, and he's like, "Whoa! Whoa! You
Don't want no trouble."
You can sit down. Yeah. Let's have a drink. Let's all put our blades away. Let's all put our weapons away. If you guys have movement, you gotta tell me.
Because I'm fucking rich at this point. I don't care.
Buy the bar. Make it your own bar.
No. I'm just gonna keep ordering drinks.
The floating skull comes back.
Every turn I get, I want to order a drink.
The floating skull comes back and decides that it is going to bring you... What did you order earlier?
Fireball.
Fireball.
And Mr. Pibb.
Okay, so it brings you a shot glass on fire. Fireball.
Whiskey sour.
And... Did you order whiskey sour?
You
Or a
did.
I
fireball?
did. I
Always
ordered
ordered a
order
whiskey-
whiskey sour.
Whiskey sour. This floating skull bobs its way back and holding in its teeth the glass for a whiskey sour. And it drops it on the table and it says, "Let me know if you need anything else, cocksucker."
Oh, one more whiskey sour.
It says, "Got it!" And it goes off to make the next whiskey sour. So it moves from the table area back to the kitchen.
Whose turn is it?
There's no particular turn because it's not combat.
Yeah.
So you can just move around
Okay.
and feel out the area.
Well, I'm Utopho, so I'm gonna go to the water fountain.
Okay, so yeah, you can save.
You can regain all your health points.
We have all our health points.
You
so-
do.
I
already.
already do. I just like the water, so I'm gonna go over here.
Okay.
That's
You
a
guys can
drink.
try me.
That's fair. So, like, me and this skull are, like, just kind of dicking around.
These two are right here are Mephits. Mephit,
Mephit, yeah.
something else. Floating skull, floating skull, floating skull. Minotaur skeleton.
I want to ask this Mephit what he's doing here.
Just been a long day in the caverns, man. I'm just trying to have a drink after work. I just worked 12 hours digging in the caverns looking for this secret rune.
Okay, like, so do you also guard the caverns? Like,
Well, I don't necessarily guard it, bro, but like I'm there.
If need be.
If need be, I'd have to guard it. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I want to see what this motherfucker's all about.
Drathnor.
So like, I buy him another drink, and then I walk back over. Like I tell him.
Do you say anything to him as you like move away?
Like, okay, like nice talking to you, whatever. Like, and then I go over here.
Okay, so Drathnor moves from one side of the room to the other. Sits down at a table, and there's 2 Mephits and a human. What do you say?
Hey guys, you want a round?
The Mephits say, "Is it blood? A round of blood?"
Sure, if that's what's on tap.
We'll try. And the human laughs to himself. So, get these Mephits worked up.
And then I get all slanted. I'm like, what are you all about, coaches?
To the human?
Yeah.
Okay. So the human says to you, "I don't know about you, but King Gark sent me in here months ago, and I've been trapped inside ever since. It's unfair. If a king is going to send people into the pyramid, he needs to join himself." Slams his glass down.
So then I yell for Edda. Hey, you work for Gark, don't you? Go ahead and talk to this guy.
So Edda moves along and is like, "Oh, geez, Drathnor, did you call for something? Did you need something?" And moves up behind you.
And then I guess I could just introduce him to him.
How do you say?
Hey, this is Edda. He works for Gark. Like,
Okay.
he's kind of been helping us
The
out.
NPC says, "My name is Helia. I was sitting here months ago, and I've been trapped ever since. I'm trying to find my way out. Gark has no rule to send people into this dungeon to their deaths. He killed my kingdom, and now he expects to kill me." He reaches over, shakes hands with Edda. "Nice to meet you."
So then I'm just like, hey, we've been doing pretty good. And I kind of whisper to him, like, we've killed 5, whatever the fuck.
Mephits.
Mephits. I'm like, we've killed like 5 Mephits and a bunch of other shit. Like, if you want to chill with us for a bit?
Helia, a silver-haired, he's probably about like 6 foot, and he's wearing just robes. And he says, I did double that when I came in.
Did what?
Double that.
Oh, shit. So, I want to roll a charisma check and be like, yeah, I'm kidding. We killed like 20.
Okay. Roll a d20 plus your charisma modifier to see if Helia believes you.
17 plus...
Shit.
2.
Okay. You got a 19.
My charisma's fucking insane right now.
I hate it. So, Drathnor leans over to Helia. This white-haired, almost mysterious character says, "Well, I killed 20 when I came in here. And I don't give a damn. Do another 20.
I don't give a damn."
Helia looks over kind of glancingly and says, "Yeah? Well, maybe your skills can be proven.
Fuck.
Are you looking for a battle? Traveler?" Because he doesn't know your name.
I lean for like, maybe I am. How about a friendly wager?
A drinking contest?
Yes.
Helia says, as he waves on another floating skull to bring him more beer. What kind of beer is it? What kind of beer do you order, Drathnor?
Natty Light.
Natty Light. Ah, shit. So, you slam 2 and it doesn't do shit.
That's why I'm drinking Natty Light.
Helia says, "More! More, Garçon! More!" And he waves the floating skull to bring more beer in.
He's bringing fucking pictures and pictures, bitch.
Drathnor drinks them. What is this? 4 or 5 beers that you've had? 3, 4? Okay. Go ahead and roll a 1d6, and I will make it your drunk modifier.
Shit.
But it goes on the board.
It's a 6.
On the board.
It's a 4.
A 4. Okay. So you slam the first 2, and you're like, I'm a 2. I'm a 2. I don't feel shit. The next 2, you're like, okay, yeah. So you trying to order more or what, Helia? You're not really drunk yet, but like you're trying to scope out the situation. You're trying to get the floating skull back?
Yeah.
The waitress?
Yeah. The wage skull?
The wage skull. It's a floating skull that is also the...
Another round. And I pull out a pocket. So I'm kind of tipsy, so I pull out a pocket full of gold and set it on the table. I'm like, hey,
Okay,
bring us all the beer we want.
so 2 floating skulls come in,
Yeah.
and they say, yes, sir, what would you like? The 2 Mephits at the other table are looking at you, seeing you spend all this money.
Yeah. I say, bring us 6 pitchers of Bud Light.
6 pitchers of Bud Light. Okay. And they start bobbing off to go back to the kitchen and get 6 pitchers. It'll take a minute. What do you do until then?
I'm gonna stare at, what's his name?
Helia.
I'm gonna stare Helia right in the eyes, just like that.
Is it my turn?
You can jump in.
I'm gonna say, you fools! You're forgetting the mission,
Claire.
and we need to go.
Utopho runs up to the table, smacks the table, and says, "You're forgetting the mission."
And I look over and say, right now the mission is to outdrink this bastard.
This biatch. Okay.
Oh my god.
Okay. It'll still be a minute before you have 6 pitchers. That's a lot, but okay. Helia looks across the table at you as you're finishing your drink, and Utopho, this Triton mermaid woman, comes up and slams the fucking table and says, "What about me? I want to drink too," basically. And
Pull up a chair, love.
Helia looks at you both and says, "Sit down. I have a story to tell of your precious King Gark."
That's it. The party survives another day. They didn't initiate a fight with the stone giant that is the host at the beginning of the Skull's Barn Grill, which I was super worried about, to be honest. I was like, no, they're definitely gonna try to fight this thing and it will kill them all and they won't even make it inside the bar. Thankfully, they stepped away from that, went inside the bar. Jalyn starts throwing his money around. Drathnor's just buying rounds and rounds. It gets to the point where it's so inconsistent that is it Fireball? Is it Whiskey Sours? Is it PBR? Is it Natty Light? Like, we just start drinking and drinking in the game. And so they finally run into Helia and this mysterious, white-haired, robe-covered man. He has this look in his eyes, basically, and this mysterious man is gonna tell us what Gark did so wrong to him. The king of Verlavi has burned a bridge in Helia's life, some way or another, and we will find out next week what it was. Thanks for listening. Hello, and thank you everyone for listening to that last episode, and welcome to a little segment I am going to start calling Roll Call. I've decided that's what it is.
That's awesome.
it works on 2 levels because rolling, you know. We didn't have any patrons this week, so I brought Joe back on again to discuss just some like world building techniques. We last left the party getting shithoused in Skul's Bar and Grill. I had to keep track of what Jalyn was ordering, and I was messing it up, and then just because he would change his mind. He'd be like, no, I want 6 pitchers of Natty Light. No, I want strawberry daiquiris. No, I want this sour puckers. And I'm like, dude, stop. I can't keep track of all the alcohol you're ordering.
Yeah, at first it was a whiskey sour, then it was Fireball and Mr. Pibb.
He was just going off on things, and I was like, I can't keep like up with it. But taverns are always fun, and they're usually a like, you all meet in a tavern, you know, kind of thing.
Yeah, that's how you start. That's how you bring everybody back in for some role play.
And that's what the tavern was for me. I was like,
dude, Skul's Bar and Grill fucking broke me. I was like, what's that?
Well, it's because like
I just pictured like when bikers go to hell and they're like hanging out in their bar in hell, and it's like Skul's Bar and Grill.
Yeah. No, that's exactly what I was kind of putting it out as. And it's a play on for our local bar and grill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is so good. Skul's Bar and Grill.
Well, I liked the idea of like, there's monsters like in there, and they're all just like trying to have a drink after a long day of like monstering.
killing good folk.
Yeah, killing heroes and stuff.
No, that was. And how did they make their way like to the bad bar? Like, is there like a nice druid grove across the street, or did they just walk down the wrong alley?
There's like the Mephit fight was a long corridor, and then they get to the end of it, and they saw those 2 like towers moving, and I was like, that's a stone giant. Please don't fuck this one up. Like, he's supposed to be the host, and he's gonna bring you to your table, but like, if you piss him off, he will wreck you.
Yeah, in one turn, he will wreck you.
Absolutely one turn.
We'll wipe the floor with your ass. Yep.
And that's part of his job duties, you know, is to clean the floor. So yeah.
He's the bouncer and the floor wiper.
What I was like really trying to do is just try to show them like this is a bustling community. It's not just you guys inside this pyramid. Yeah, like you have to learn to talk to other people.
No, and that definitely helps with world building too. I mean, giving them the notion that they're dungeon crawling alone through this thing kind of isolates them from role playing in a way, and opening up the possibility that there's like a whole functioning sociosphere down here.
Yeah,
that's
really
cool.
It's not so much like an economic bubble, but like, hey, they gotta do something all day when they're not killing heroes. Like, they have to do something when they're not just digging through the mines and of the caverns of the pyramid.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a walk in other people's shoes. Like, what do the creatures in your dungeon do when there's nobody to dungeon on, you know? Like,
right.
They just fucking lay there? Do they chill out? No, they go about their daily lives.
Try to find a drink and, you know, a burger.
Yep.
I really liked the Minotaur skeleton chef. It was just kind of one of those things that all just like, well, he has a giant axe, so why not make it a butcher's knife? Like, who cares?
See, with something like that, it's very, very easy to kind of pigeonhole people into, if you start a fight in here, you're gonna lose.
Well,
this is not the fight that you want.
Yeah. Well, then there's like the aspect of, you don't have to fight everything, and that was kind of the first experience they've really had of like not fighting something and trying to learn like, okay, this is another person in here, and he's not immediately out for my health, so I can talk to him first. It'll be okay.
Yeah, and definitely
lure him into that.
Use descriptive words and kind of like make them ask what they see, you know, and get them into the mood of, what am I looking at, you know, instead of, you guys are looking at this, and this, and make them wonder what's going on. Like, what's the bar made of? Is it like a cave? What kind of furniture's in here? What kind of people are in here?
And that's like, on me as a DM to try to
make them
stem
start
those.
Wondering. Yeah, plant the seeds, and then they'll constantly be trying to make checks.
Right.
And interrupting your storytelling, which is part of DMing too.
Which is absolutely part of DMing as well. If you literally have to write a plan, and then you're like, okay, Now, what is the exact opposite that they can do? Plan for that, and then they're still going to do another thing you're completely unprepared for.
And see, that's very much a one-way mirror, because you can sit there and think all day of, well, what if I was this player or this character? But they can't sit there and think of,
what if
I was making this? Yeah. So it's very one-sided notion there that you have to kind of learn their personalities and kind of trigger them in a way to go do stuff if you want to guide them with the storyline. Well, it's either that or you make it a sandbox, and like the tavern ecosphere is like a perfect sandbox.
It is, yeah.
Like dot a couple little minor fetch quests for some extra items or some extra NPCs, and just like fill it with interesting people and interesting things. Like make your tavern, a place that they'll remember. Like, oh man, fucking remember Skul's Bar and Grill? Like 10 years down the line, like dude, that. I
really hope that's what that would be, but it was a little bit of it wasn't as fleshed out as I would like it to be. Mostly because they just like started running through it, like, and it has to do with having the board, like that board that I made, out in front of us, so they see it as like a Monopoly or Candyland board, in the sense of like, the further we move through this, the faster it's over with. And I'm like, well, that's fine and all, but then you're missing out on key things, which is, at the discretion of all players. But like, I think that's still in their mindset of like, this is a board, get through it, be done. And I'm like, okay, cool, I'm trying to finish it off as well. But like, I play more theater of the mind, and the board was really just a reference for me that I beefed up and let you guys see.
Yep. No, and it's like that mod for Skyrim where you walk into a dungeon and it's pitch black and you can't see shit without a torch. Like basically their field of vision is the torch in this case, and everything else is blocked off or inaccessible because they have to go through it and find out what it is, and that's kind of a really good way to lead them down places
which
that
is
they wouldn't normally
fine to
be
do
coaxed
on
into.
Roll20 or whatever, but then I have the board in front of me, so they see the whole thing at once, and they're like, okay.
I've had DMs draw it as they go from memory, which is a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
I've had DMs cover it up with paper.
I thought about that.
Slowly reveal, but like covering up a 3D map with paper is kind of
that was my thing. Yeah, I didn't think about that until after I made everything 3-dimensional, and I was like, oh shit, I can't cover any of that. So you definitely know where the big bad guy is at the end.
Right. Giant room with this giant circle in it, that might be something.
That might be bad. Everything I've ever learned from video games is like, if you're in a giant room that's empty, you're about to go into a boss fight.
On that note, there's an entire like subculture of 3D map builders on the internet that you should definitely check out if you want to get more detail crammed into that thing, because it's
tiles
as
and
good
whatnot.
as it. I mean, not even tiles. I mean, like hand drawn stuff and sculpted foam. Like, just go to Michael's and pick up $20 worth of foam latex and just mold it into whatever you want it to be. And then
are you making an ad for my Patreon? Because that's what it sounds like.
Check out this guy's Patreon.
Patreon.com/metamikey. You can just chuck me $1. I'm going to actually stop it when this campaign is over. Probably take like a month hiatus, and then I will probably send out a reoccurring message to everyone that was a patron and be like, look, I'm about to start charging you again, just letting you know, like, I took a break and now I'm back. Are you ready for the next campaign? But I felt it was necessary to put it on pause for a little while. I don't want to charge people if I'm not putting things out.
Exactly. No, and for the next campaign you do, it might be a little longer, a little shorter, whatever, but just keep it open while you're operating,
That was my idea, just only keep it open while moving. But enough on that. Again, if anyone check me $1, appreciate the heck out of it.
Chuck him $1, he needs it.
Do you want to talk about the NPCs that you meet in the tavern?
Yeah, so throw me like a short list. You're the bartender, you have the chef.
Okay, I had the bartender was the floating skull. I had the Minotaur. Wait, I don't know if that's on the sums. Okay, so there's definitely a floating bartender skull. There's a couple Mephits inside. The party ends up talking to Helia. which if you did listen to episode 2, that was the non-canon one, and he starts the adventure with them originally in the first draft of the story that I wrote, and I was like, I don't want to play 2 NPCs off the bat. Edda's so much fun. Healy is just a dick. Like, I don't want to play that right now. They'll find him later. So I stuck him in the pyramid somewhere and, reworked his, how I wanted him to interact with everybody. But they meet him and they start hearing the story of how he was a slave and was captured by King Gark of Verlavi, and he sent him into the pyramid, like, not necessarily first, but like first wave of people, because slaves are fodder. And they're all doing that right about as they leave for the session. That was about where we ended off, was just explaining like he really has a distaste for Gark and everything that he does. He wasn't particularly happy to see Edda being a shining knight of Verlavi.
Yeah, that's kind of a slap in the mouth,
but,
for sure.
The way I was taught to do NPC encounters was right at conflict.
Definitely. Yeah,
like it's
so,
not...
Go
ahead.
So your conflict is, I'm trying to get out of here and get revenge, maybe, on the guy who put me here. But then you have to make the operative, the motive to kind of, what am I doing to get out of here? Am I just walking around trying to
looking
open
for
all
a
the
door?
doors?
Yeah.
Or is there something that I know that that the party doesn't? And that's where storytelling gets really interesting, because it could be literally anything about your game world that he knows, and he's your conduit from the characters to you,
right, as a DM.
Without breaking the fourth wall. I mean, an NPC is kind of like a salt shaker of exposition for you to kind of tap on at any time and give them just little tidbits. So like, if you're going to build an NPC that wants to get out of this prison kind of like Thunderdome dungeon, give him something to get out to,
right?
And give him a way, give him something that he's looking for that'll help him, that the party doesn't necessarily know about or understand.
Well, I thought it would be fun to have Edda and Utopho, who work clearly under King Gark in one form or another, just stand there in front of this dude that like pronounces like his hatred for him, and be like, well, you guys gonna show any loyalty, or is this gonna be a conflict? Can you work somebody's reasons around? You're gonna find out what caused all this. I thought that was gonna be a good stemming point, and we'll see. The seed's been sown.
I like that a lot. And don't make, and this is a really like high level DMing tip.
Okay.
Don't make every NPC have a minor quest, because then it just gets
absolutely not. No.
Yeah, you can talk to people without them having like, oh, well, what do you want us to go do? Like, not everybody is a quest objective.
No, absolutely not.
It kind of bloats up your map a little bit with too many objectives.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna go around this corner and do this, and then backtrack a little bit, and that makes it a little less linear and more of an open world explorer. But
do you do
just have like a couple?
Yeah, do you do the random names thing? Like, anytime, like, I have a sheet full of random names. I've kind of classified them under, like, male and female, and, like, gnome names, troll names, orc names,
nice.
Elven names. Just kind of, like, have a bit of variety, so it's not all just, like, John, Jacob, Jingleheimer, Janice. Like, so...
Yeah, I do a lot of the racial names, like, all right, well, I'm building... Like, I'll roll up an NPC. Oh, well, she's an elf, so...
Try to put some sort of elfish name,
or maybe she's a gnome, and I don't like the stupid, funny, jiggly gnome names. This is like a gnome warlock, who's kind of evil. So I'll just go and I kind of stick to Old Gaelic, Old Norse, and like Anglo-Saxon language.
I usually stick to random name generator.
Random elfnamegenerator.com.
Yeah.
Yep.
I seriously do. I just random generate names. I find that just the easiest.
That's totally fine. And it's quick and it's easy and it gives you what you need.
Right. And then I wrote a bunch of them down so I could pull them off later. Make a little note of where like they found that name or whatever. on accents, I lean towards like a real heavy pirate or Australian accent. So most of my NPCs come out with a little bit of mate at the end. I'm like, okay, that's fine. Like, just I try to keep a little like dash mark next to them during my session notes. It'll be like, okay, they met this NPC Peppermint the elf, and I'm like, he has a British accent. You know, just whatever to try to keep things moving.
No, I mean, and that's totally fine. You can kind of prepare for that by knowing what kind of personality your character has, because like a librarian or a sage and a scholar of some wizarding school isn't going to talk in like broken English with a Cockney accent. He's going to hold himself to a higher air of conversation. He's going to be a little more charismatic. Likewise, the dwarven barbarian isn't going to know that much common.
Right.
And he's going to probably talk like an idiot. But the things he says, he's going to really want to say and need to say. So whatever he says, while it might sound a little dull, is going to be like, well, I'm talking and I can't talk, so this has to be, it's really hard for me to convey this, but here you go. This is what I got.
It's not too bad with the more centrical NPCs, but instead like the ones where they're like, I want to walk into that thing that you spent a second describing instead of the 2-minute long conversation we had about this other thing. I want to go in that little thing, and I'm like, okay, who do you meet inside of it? Okay. And then I just have to like roll random name, random everything, and then I'm like thinking on it, like as I'm doing it, I'm like, I have no idea how I'm gonna make this character feel real, because it wasn't until about 10 seconds ago. It wasn't even real.
Yep, pretty much. And that's also hard. No, naming stuff I usually leave to like the language barrier when I'm naming places and things rather than people. For instance, the campaign I'm running now, Losgard is Old Norse for legitimately, it just means Kingdom of Light or Place of Light. And so you get Losgard from that. Or Talaran is Old Gaelic for Hall of Songs.
Okay.
And naming places like that is easier, especially if they're big landmarks. And I've literally just given my players a map of the entire game world. Here's where the big cities are. Here's what they're called. Here's how you'll know what to look for. And then I've kind of given them like a 3-page forward, because when you run a homebrew world, no one knows what's in it
other than you.
Yours.
Literally only you. It's a blessing and an absolute curse.
So just for you to know, my campaign session 0, where we build all of our characters, is in 3-4 days.
Nice.
And so I've been slowly preparing my party. I've got 5 players. Just like, here's what you'll be dropped into. As much knowledge as I can give you without forming an idea of a story yet. Because past like level 4, I'm not sure where they're gonna go, what they're gonna do. I've got up to that point written in, and it's kind of like 2-3 months of story, and they'll level at their whim, kind of thing. Like, you'll level when the story says you can level.
And that's I literally had to do that in mine as well. I told Jalyn, and in a magical whisper, Drathnor hears, "Come back when you're level 5." And I'm like, yeah, dude, don't go across that yet. Like, you don't want to do that. And I'm telling you this, I'm breaking the fourth wall and giving you a very good indication of, like, don't do it, or I'm going to have to pull out some stats that I wasn't ready for because you're not ready for them.
No, break them. If they want to go down there, smash them with a hammer.
I'm planning on it.
Let one of them live. Let 1 or 2 of them live so they can heal back.
Yeah. No, I definitely plan after we finish this campaign, which I'm planning to have in 2 sessions maybe done. I'm trying. Okay, so the episode that the listeners just heard and you heard is episode 5, and I think I have 8 or 9, all the way up to 8 or 9 ready.
Nice.
So I'm hoping to finish it off under 12, and then, like I said, take that month hiatus, and then I will probably introduce a new round of characters and do something a little more micro-campaign-y or epic. I haven't decided.
I mean, building a continent is a little bit different than building a dungeon. I'll say that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Having done everything from like, well, here's a little hamlet village where there's like a blacksmith, a church, a general store, to all right, well, here's the city of Talaran, gnomish stronghold in the middle of a swamp. What's its society like? Who lives there? Who's the king? Who's in charge? What are the police like? Since they're gnomes, are there more wizards or bards or whatever? And like developing anything bigger than like a little hamlet who's sparsely populated, it's kind of a massive undertaking in and of itself. So you really have to generalize.
Oh, I try to do town by town
races and stuff. Yeah, definitely. And like even in the dungeon you're running, you can make different areas have a different socio.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
There's this one that's largely populated by Mephits, obviously, so it's going to be a little more evil and kind of
dust. Well, they're dust Mephits, so it's obviously some sort of cavern,
Right.
Last thing I wanted to go
ahead. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say last thing I wanted to talk about was the level 2 Tribune thing, because I know that you are a level 2 patron, right?
Yeah, I am.
Sweet. Thank you so much again for that. I appreciate that. $5. It goes a long way. Last month in it, I did that player highlight interview with Jalyn, which was a lot of fun. I don't think I'm going to be able to get Jennifer or Claire to sit down and do that with me. They're just both not... they're a little microphone shy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is fine.
I feel that.
So I decided that this month, and this is a little bit of a sizzle for it, anybody listening, that I'm going to release like 4 or 5 original artworks.
Oh, nice.
Into it in that spot for instead of doing the player's highlight, I'll do that instead, and there'll be.
Wait, have I seen these?
Some of them.
Nice.
You've seen some of them.
Yeah. People, this is going to be great.
Yeah, so it'll be just 4 or 5 artwork pieces that will probably. I'm thinking I'll put them in a PDF, and then that someone can do with it what they will after that point. It's all yours.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Open source, fair use.
Thank you so much, Joe, for doing this with me. Every time I need a little bit of a buffer for my episodes, I know where to go.
Oh, definitely.
Well, let's see. You're running your campaign every other?
Yeah, it'll be every other Sunday, I think.
You still think you're going to try to record that?
Probably eventually, not from day one, because like I said, none of the 5 people I play with have ever seen a D&D book before. Okay. So I've got to kind of acclimate them to role-playing.
See, that's where I was with this, yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
So once we get going, kind of, and maybe after a couple sessions, I'll bring it up to them. But they're like all people my age, and they're all busy as hell, so it's definitely just going to be an every other Sunday kind of thing.
I'm doing it for the, the promoting and the branding or whatever, just to try to get something out there. But like I said last week, it was a huge help to just have the recordings to be able to listen back and be like, why can't I add 14 plus 2? Like, why, what? Like, what's wrong with me? Or like, oh my god, no, like, why did I tell her that, like, rolling a 0 on a d10 is a 0? And I'm like, it's a 10. Why did I, what? It's all those little things that you're going too fast during session, and then you hear them back in a slow, controlled manner, and you're like, God, I broke so many rules.
I broke so many of my rules that I made up.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's really helpful for that. I recommend it to anyone out there trying to put together a D&D campaign. Record it and listen back. It is an amazing tool.
It's 10 times easier than taking notes.
That don't make sense after you're done. Like the next day, you're like, what are all these scratch marks?
Spent more than a week in a college auditorium